Hey guys, we're back. So, I guess I'll talk to this person now. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to Quack Atelier, home of the finest clothing in Wampo Garden. I am the owner, master tailor, Wing K. Quack. How may I serve you today? Alright. I didn't expect Wampo Garden to have a tailor. Why? What did you expect there to be? Why would it? I don't know, whatever. Many people don't. There's a mistaken impression that we Wampoans are only interested in technology and the Matrix. But even technologists need clothing, don't they? And many of us gravitate toward lines of work where added protection is required. I myself am a material scientist as well as a keen follower of fashion trends. Kind of material science, alright. Fiber related, of course, primarily aramid fibers, graphene composites, and dilatants. It affords me a certain unique perspective when designing clothing that is not only beautiful but defensive as well. I specialize in high fashion body armor similar to the kind crafted by SecureTech or Vashon Island, but with a much more personal touch. Alright. What you have? Alright. And I can't buy anything. She said she crafts this, but she has... This is this pirate? I don't know. Alright. Can't walk over here for some reason. Right. Alright, is there anything we can do for you, Schick? Alright, okay, that's what I was really here. To Wampo Garden last month. Tang is taken aback by the question. For a long moment he says nothing, but nothing. When his composure does return, he speaks deliberately and with great care. We generally don't let the police into Wampo Garden, it's true, but in this case we made an exception. The police were very polite and offered to look the other way over some of our deals with the Loho Jawa pirates. They also made it clear that if we refused, they might not only take an interest in our deals with the pirates, they would call in the Special Duties Unit and force their way in. We have repelled the Hong Kong police force before when they've tried to push us around. We could probably drive off the Special Duties Unit as well, but the cost in blood would be too high. Shrugs non-committally. Since they weren't hunting a Wampoan, we saw no reason to refuse their request. What are they here for? They didn't say and we didn't ask. The HKPF isn't exactly forthcoming about their business. We found the less we know about their interest, the safer Wampo Garden is. When you take an interest in the police, they return the favor. As far as I know, they went into the parking garage, there was a gunfight, and the police never came out. More showed up a few hours later, looking for their missing officers. We didn't let those in, though. We just delivered what was left of the bodies to them. Why didn't you let them in? We're willing to allow the group of 4 in because they asked politely when the reinforcements arrived. There were over 30 of them. We couldn't risk the rest of the police setting up a camp on our streets. It would have been a circus and disrupted our lives and business. Why didn't you tell me about Elder Magpie disappearing? Why would we have? Her departure from the Wampoans isn't related to your investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she's just off sulking somewhere. Ng's tone is profoundly indifferent. No doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, all full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. Alright. If she does, we'll welcome her back. Despite our problems with her behavior, skills make her extremely valuable. I've taken over maintenance of our Matrix infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. I'd like to take a look around her shop. Do you have the key? Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community servers. We don't let anyone who's not one of the Wampona elders in there. Why would you need to look around there? Alright. Shit. I don't really need to go in there. I'm going now. Alright. Nobody else could have backed me up and given me another excuse. What is there? Parking garage. Get the key to Magpie's shop. Alright. So I guess there's no way to get into that shop without 3 charisma. Or 4 in decking. Alright, what do you got? Breaker Hui. An opposing troll stands in front of a stall overflowing with weapons of all sorts, pistols, rifles, and even brass knuckles overflow until the rung around him. Oh there, you look like a woman who understands the value of self-defense. Breaker Hui at your service, and I promise you I can help you defend yourself. What do you say? Who want to take a look? Alright. More information. Yeah, tell me what you want, maybe I can help you out, right? Know anything about the murders? Just that elders have been getting hacked apart. I've tried to stay away from it all, in those sense painting the crosshairs on my own forehead, right? I'm nobody important, and I aim to keep it that way. What are your impressions of the Wampone elders? Can't say I associate much with them. They organize big trade deals with the Loho Jawal pirates, the triads, and legitimate businesses. They tell us if somebody's been blacklisted and dispense justice when somebody breaks the rules. Beyond that, they leave us alone, and I leave them alone. I'm not just important enough to register on their radar. I'm just not right. You know anything about Elder Magpie? Never met her, thank God. She ran with the Deckers, mostly since she dealt in chips and software. I heard she was hard to work with. I think the phrase I overheard was that she shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know, you should ask Zippy though. He's a sharp one with a deck, so he'd know her better than most. Aside from Tong, who slings the BTLs around here. The Red Spear Gang, they run up here sometimes, but don't cause any trouble. Check out the parking garage south of here, but they usually hole up in there. Step light though, if they don't know you and you cop an attitude, they'll push you in the ground. Funny thing, I heard there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police force in the garage a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I didn't see it directly, but everybody was talking about it when I got back. Why is that funny? Because we don't let the HKPF in here. Most times we shoot at them if they try. Every time they come in here, it's bad for us because they're always looking for a scapegoat. Why would the elders let them in? Nobody knows. All right. Moji Nebe. Man in front of the stall is looting through a box of music chips with the swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. No, Genevi. Can you believe this? They've got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased Enoch Ian keys, double chip show from Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. This stuff is purely second rate. Right? Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played that unlicensed show at the old taco tart factory out in Swenois. Choco tart, alright. Taco tart. Swenois. The show was amazing, even the police had to break it up midway through the second set. The music aficionado waves his hand dismissively. The show might have been great, but come on, Echelon 60's old news. They're already being mainstreamed. I saw a trade ad for the new Mitsubishi Astro scooter, and they were using main volt under bus as the backing music. Made me sad, I tell you. Alright. He has to be a fucking hipster. Like, literally the stereotypical hipster. Lecker inclines his head politely towards you. Mo Genebi at your service. Decker, technologist, music fan. You're not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. From the USCS. Mo runs a hand through his hair, shaking the collected rain out of it. I thought so. What brings you here? Killing the elders. Decker paused a moment, face falling. That's nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? What can you talk about the Wampoans? We're a collection of freaks, geeks, nerds, and tech junkies. This place may look like third world bazaar, but believe me, we have stuff here that's cutting edge in almost every field. Mo swells with pride and plants both hands firmly on his hips. Maybe it's not as advanced as stuff the Megas have in their development labs, but it's as advanced as anything you can find in a store. People come from all over the world to buy and sell here and work out deals for big shipments. We've got contacts with every pirate and smuggling group in the South China Sea and every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zone and knows not to mess with us. Not only are there a lot of us, nobody wants to lose what we're selling. Red Dragon made a play 4 years ago, but we chased them out. Mo gestures with both hands as if shooting away a bothersome insect. Scooted off back to Momentin, and they've never been back. Good for you, that's how you survive. It's all about playing the angles. Yeah, I pissed them off, but then we sold goods to the LOs at a discount. In exchange, the LOs kept them off our back. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win. You just have to make him step back so the other big guys see he's off balance. Stand-up fights are for the Megas. We're about survival just like everybody else in the shadows. You know anything about the murders? I'm trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important. And all the talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters, but I want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple months ago we had Elders Nakamura, Yatunde, Gon, and Magpie. Now we don't. I've heard about Magpie. Sounds like she was kind of vicious. To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewish old badger of a person. It was always her way or the highway. She butt heads with the other elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tom over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro drones into a deep fryer and threatening to kick his ass around the block. What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jack Point. Not very imaginative, I know. She's always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks for anybody willing to play her rates. It cost plenty of Nguyen, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you want to know more about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You can probably find him by the MTR station. He loves the steam bun cart over there. Area of expertise. I'm Decker. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code for their servers, smearing the little cyberpunks that would try to get into our secure systems. I made a pretty good living, had my own place on the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. It's the kind of thing that Sims teach you every day. Everybody reaches for the dream life. How'd you end up here? Found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Turns out one of the company's security riggers had gotten drunk and blabbed about some project or other being over budget and being behind schedule. That's not good. It'd be a fireable offense, right? Mo purses his lips, his gaze going distant for a moment. Well, I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock ratings by a fraction of a point or two, so they fired the guy with a .308 round right through the skull. Should know that's how the corporations handle problems. Well, I sure as hell know it now. You get a wake-up call like that, it really opens your eyes. Only have been fractions of a point, but that was still tens of millions of new yen. I guess that went behind a firing offense directly into murder territory. What's worse, since I now know about both the project and the murder, I could be the next in the firing line. I knew I wasn't worth the expense to hunt down as long as I kept my head down, so I came out here looking for like-minded deckers. I guess I ended up staying because I couldn't get assembled to a community out there, and I couldn't get that many other places. See you later, Mo. I don't think I can get anything more out of Zippy. Yeah. Yeah. Be going now. All right. One of these guys could have stepped up and fucking helped. Right. Alright, I can't go. We gotta go through them. Probably won't. Might not fuck this up. We might fuck this up. Red Spear Ganger, that's far enough, lady. The woman hefts her weapon, tossing a nod toward the gangers behind her. This lot's our turf. If you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. Try and wander around on our turf, we're gonna have to air you out. So what do you say? I'm looking for a little pick-me-up, a little nitro to give you some pep. Maybe you want some chips, take that edge off. You want it, got it, alright. Show me what you have. Jazz, Bliss, Togo. Toko's really seems it should be more expensive than it is. It's pretty cheap. I've been in the fight here. As far as I know, some police showed up looking for somebody. They got in here. All of them got killed. Whoever they were after was long gone by the time we showed up. Used to be a lot of Wampones living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit like that. You heard anything else about the murders? Nothing much. I'll tell you what, though. I've got a guy named Kong. He was down in the storm drain system last week. Somebody was moving down there, big too, man-sized, but it wasn't speaking any language Kang understood. Kid beat feet back here as fast as he could. Dumbass dropped his storm drain key on the way out, though. You want to go looking for whatever it was, you'll have to get a new key from somebody else. Kang stole his from a city worker. Most might have a key to the storm drains. There's a guy named Porter Lamb who's got keys to pretty much everything. He's somewhere between a cop and a handyman. Yuan also mentioned some elf woman with crazy colored hair who managed to scam a key. He said she hunted paracritters down there, devil rats and shit. All right. You can look around this garage. Woman, are you deaf? What the hell did I tell you? No, you goddamn well can't wander around our turf. Your shakes her head mumbling stuff about idiots with no memory, alright? Still in this awful lot, like a tongue shop. Yeah, so, what do you care? If you stole these from tongs, maybe you saw something I could use in my investigation. I guess that's fair. It's like this broken thumb Yuan was walking down the street and sees this guy go into Tong's joint right at closing time. Tall guy, hunched over, had his shitty gray rain poncho draped all over him. Now Yuan figured that was weird as hell, so he posts up and waits. He figures the guy will come out soon because Tong's closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out, hustles down the street with nobody saying boo. I figured he was waiting for an ebb in the crowds. Yuan sees some blood smeared on the floor, though, so he goes to check it out. Inside, total carnage, but you know what? Tong's not gonna using his gear anymore, so hell with it. Yuan jacks a lot of it. This is business. Damn right it is. That's all I know. The guy had to be the killer. Tall, gray rain poncho, hunched over, also smart about how he came and went. Alright. Alright. I'm just gonna etiquette my way out of this. Drone B&R kit. is cool. melee damage. Come on. Alright, so I lost Gobbet. Alright, a small PDA sits on the table, the dull glow of the screen illuminating the surface around it. Does not appear to be locked. Check recent email. Nadir OS 3.11 email client. Please select a file. Location in garage. Wilson, we've got the go-ahead from the Wampone elders to move into the parking garage. Whatever fight happened there has really spooked the locals, and they're superstitious about moving back into a place that could be filled with angry ghosts. It's a bunch of bull, but whatever the bottom line is, we have a new place to set up shop. The only requests are that we pay a percentage of our sales back to them, and we keep anyone nosy out of our turf. Works for me, alright? Kang, I don't know where Kang is. Last I heard from him, he was checking out the storm drains, looking for a place to use the drought. Okay, this is in case I you heard about the way the elders have been getting picked off one by one, but stay out of it. They've been nice to us to let us set up shop here, but their business isn't our business, and I want to ask you to look into it. Tell them to talk to me. I don't want to get mixed up in whatever politics are ripping those crazy tech junkies apart, alright? Okay, that's just in case, blood stains. Dried blood and bullet hole pockmarked the floor, pillars, and walls of the parking garage. Judging by the amount of blood staining the floor, multiple people died here. To call the scene bloody would be to do it a disservice. This was a massacre of tremendous proportions, alright? Look at this, Schick. Rector points to several scratches on the floor and in the pillar. These scratches look like they're from a long-bladed weapon like a sword or a machete. That matches the wound on Tong's neck. Our killer must have fought the HKPF in here and cut them apart. With the numbers of bullet holes in the walls and cars around here, they must have just been spraying wildly. I don't relish the idea of fighting this killer in cramped quarters. Bloody drain, alright. Dried blood and clots clog the drain. As you look closer, however, something catches your eye, an off-red color that doesn't match the hues of the gore around the drain. Blending closer, it appears to be a small nugget of some kind. Well, fish the item out. The nugget, upon closer inspection, is a chunk of some kind of synthetic ferroplastic. It's got rugged edges as if it was broken off by a larger object. A number of small markings are partially obscured by scratches. Examine the markings more closely. Brushing away from the dust, you appear at the fragmentary bit of ferroplastic. The scratches and markings on the nugget look like Chinese, but despite how closely you look, you can't decipher their meaning. After a moment, you realize the reason. Not only are the markings fragmentary, the language is actually Japanese. The characters are close enough to be familiar, but too different for you to read. Maybe an expert in armor or foreign languages could help. You know, I'm not sure who in Wempoa Garden speaks Japanese, but Wing K Kwok has a shop down in the Wampo itself, by where we met the elders. If anyone around here would know about armor, it would be her. Alright. This is a lot messier than I would have liked. Can't just go down there, alright. I did play this on hard mode, so that's what I get. Rainbow say something. Somebody said something about Rainbow. Alright. Hey, good to see you again. Something else I can help you with? Do you have a key to the storm drains? Of course I do. How's what I get done to look over strange creepy crawlies, eh? Why do you ask? Can I borrow? I want to investigate something down there. Aye, sure. Watch your step down there, though. The drains are a mite bigger than people normally expect. Best of luck. See you later, Rainbow. Welcome back. How may I help you today? Do you know what kind of armor this piece is from? Perhaps let me see it, and I'll tell you what I can find out. Wing K holds the armor piece up to her eye, taking out a jeweler's loop. Oh, is that what those things are called? Look at it more closely. Japanese markings, I don't recognize all of them, but this first one is Renraku, fairly recognizable to anyone who's used to seeing the name in Hanzi. The composition appears to be high-density ferroceramics, probably boron carbide with an interwoven bioaramid mesh. The staining on the edges suggests it contained pockets of silica suspended in a polyethylene glycol, similar to the commercially sold gel pack technology. Pockets of silica. Polyethylene glycol. This armor could have withstood a significant amount of impact force. Even standard 762mm rounds wouldn't have held much of a chance of penetrating it. What could penetrate it? High-velocity rounds with a tungsten carbide penetrator would be the most common. This is the kind of thing armor-piercing, discarding sabot rounds were designed to defeat. A die-coated melee weapon could do it as well, but there wouldn't be that kind of splintering at the edge. Same case with EX explosive rounds, we'd see spalling on the backside. Alright. You are super helpful, okay? And I do not mean that in any... It's not even remotely sarcastic. Whoever shot this off the owner came loaded with the right kind of weaponry to get the job done, that's for certain. You don't carry that kind of ordnance around unless you're sure of what you're facing. It's just too expensive for common carry. Well, their Ing's not going to change his tone, is he? A portal line. Somebody said something about. See you later. Storm drains. parts. All right. The I don't know why Cochet went all the way around there. The disgusting pile of stinking human remains smells strongly of blood in the first stages of decay. The arms, legs, and organs here are heaped together like stacked firewood, leaking blood and gore across the floor. The parts contained therein appear to have been sliced away from the parent body rather than torn or bitten. Judging by the clean edges of the cuts, the blade used to sever these parts was extremely sharp. Isabel, this is the whole world of messed up shit. Isabel takes a moment to express a wrench. You think the killer stashed these here? They're stacked, they've been organized. This is our killer, alright. Looking closer at the pile, one part stands out. It's a severed forearm, it's covered in tattoos, words in a Slavic language, and a shining lighthouse. A door in the forearm, and a ring like images are inked on each finger. On the back of the hand, there's a skull inside a square. This arm belonged to Vor. These are criminal tattoos. The lighthouse shows he tried to escape from prison or planned to. The words say all police are dogs. That skull inside a square means he served a prison term for a robbery once. It's a Vor. A Vor is a thief. The Vori Zakone is the name of the organization Thieves in Law. They have a strict codes and police their own. They don't sever arms and leave them in a pile of gore. Alright. Despite the darkness, you see something glittering at the edge of the drain. Looking closer, appears to be a necklace. A chain of some kind has become caught in the drain's grate, nearly avoiding falling down the deep pit. Take the necklace. Lifting the necklace out of the drain, you turn it over in your hand. It's a simple silver pendant on a chain. The silver pendant depicts a long-tailored bird in flight, a magpie. Alright. As you're around the corner, you hear voices speaking just loudly enough for you to make out coherent sentences. The speakers are definitely not local. They speak with a slight Slavic accent, and their clothing is heavily armored. Around them are a number of crates and boxes, all mostly filled. It looks like the group is packing up. Vasilisa. Yaroslav says the boat will be ready tomorrow. If they're Slavic, so why are they speaking in Chinese? Why are they speaking in Cantonese then? My character happens to speak Slavic languages. Alright. Yaroslav says the boat will be ready tomorrow morning. He's gotten everything arranged with the port authority. We move the goods to his warehouse. We'll handle loading them onto the ship, and we can get paid right then and there. The orc spits on the ground. I'll be glad to be done with this filthy place. Galena. I will too. I hate having to hide in these damn drains. It stings down here. I can't hear the devil rats running down the walkways. It's a mess and it's disgraceful. We shouldn't have to put up with this bullshit. And Alexander still isn't back from his little trip. We'll have to leave him behind if he doesn't get back soon. I know, Galena. Until Andrei says we're in the clear from the triads, we can't be seen with the goods on the street. They find us. We go back to Vladivostok in sausage casings. Those Red Dragon Mudaki don't screw around when it comes to protecting their turf. Who knows, maybe Alexander was stupid and they caught him. Either way, we'll have to lug his crap through the drains for a few clicks. The orc woman sniffs the air suspiciously, and her eyes dart toward the dark tunnel you stand in. Before you have a chance to get out of sight, she locks eyes with you. The orc lifts her chin as she regards you, cracking her knuckles. What have we here? A curious little pest, come looking for things that don't concern her. What do we do with pests, Galena? Galena puts a hand on her shotgun's barrel. We break them Vasilisa, and then we hammer a spike through each of their throats, so anyone who sees their bodies knows not to meddle in our affairs. I suggest you stay where you are, pest. Check it. Alright. Alright. Some of the cockiness goes out of the Russian woman's eyes. She lifts back and forth nervously, shooting a glance at the orc. Finally, she lifts her shotgun, sliding along the barrel. Do you think we're afraid of those little worms? Do you think we're afraid of you? Don't make me laugh. You could be out of here before they realize you're missing. You think those crazy chipheads will give a shit about what happens down here? I don't think so. Actor chuckles lightly. You're voyeurs, jacons, and thieves. You steal and rob for your living. We're Shadowrunners. We kill people for our living. Which of us do you think will come out on top in this fight? Here. And the person murdering the Lampone elders. You think I give a shit about what you're going down here? I don't want to get into another fight. I've already lost one fucking person for the mission. You think I give a shit about what happened when you're going down here? None of that concerns me, so why the hell should we let you live? Because I know what happened to Alexander. She still worth her teeth. If you so much as touched him, your suffering will become the stuff of legend. Perhaps, where is he? Serial killer I'm looking for killed him. Why should we believe you? I think you're just trying to save your own skin. Right forearm, lighthouse tattoo, Russian words underneath that. On the back of the hand, a skull inside a square. Sound familiar? Vasilisa and Galena exchange a significant glance. Okay, so you've seen his arm. That doesn't prove anything. You could have seen it on him. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. It's down the way in the drains. There's a pile of body parts. His arm is in it. You can see for yourself. You're right. This is the act of someone very sick. We could talk peacefully, but keep your hands where I can see them. The murders that I might not know. You think we get out a lot? I wouldn't have even known there were murders if I hadn't bothered to come out to get some soy calf last week. It's none of our business. It isn't our problem, and I like it that way. Where's your friend headed when he disappeared? Found a key card for a stockroom located behind Mrs. Yang's Jade Mountain restaurant. Went to check it out. We thought there might be something valuable in there, a little extra money or time spent down here in the drains. Nah. Do you have anything? Right, key to the stockroom. Yes, there were. And you somehow handed it from all the way from over there. Yes, there were several of them in the box. We just popped the lock off and took them all. Vasilis tosses you a key card. Here, we don't have time for this. We have to move this gear. You want to play detective? Go right ahead. I wonder if I can persuade them that Magpie's dead with the, From this necklace down the sewers, is it Magpie's? Ip turns the necklace over in his hands and handing it back after a moment. It definitely belonged to Magpie. Here, take the key to her shop. Just don't break anything and don't shut off the servers. Is there anything else? I'll be going now. Right. clean this place up very well. Despite the table's crude construction, an artfully laid meal awaits the owner. Several small dishes are filled with pickled vegetables, while a larger plate is arranged with long slices of raw meat. The meat is a pale pinkish white, like raw pork, and is covered in a light soy marinade. Poking at the raw meat, you discover that it's surprisingly tender. What's more is the faint aroma of marinade, as if deliberately prepared. Leave the meat alone. Mementos. This box is packed full of odds and ends. It nearly overflows with a collection of knickknacks, souvenirs, and assorted personal effects. There is no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Among the contents are charms from various temples, a wooden mask, and a paper fan. Examine the mask. The wooden mask is extremely light. It's been painted a pale white, and the surface is almost as smooth as porcelain. Delicate features and lifted eyebrows are matched with bright red lips and delicately carved teeth. The teeth have been stained a deep black. Examine the charms. The small... I'm wishing we had fucking Gobbit right now, god damn it. Small charms are square cloth packets, each approximately 1 inch wide and 3 inches tall. They come in a variety of bright colors and are embroidered with characters for prosperity, peace, wealth, and protection. Inside each appears to be a folded paper prayer or fortune written in Japanese. Examine the paper fan. Unfolding the fan, you tilt it up toward the light to examine it. The image depicts an East Asian city from the 19th century or earlier. Curved roofs at sunset beside a deep blue river. 2 ships sail down the river, which is in turn spanned by a long wooden bridge. In the foreground, laborers carry buckets along the shore as a man on horseback rides in the opposite direction. In the distance, a pair of large red buildings dominate this city skyline, 1 large temple hall and a 5-tiered pagoda. As you step away from the box, you hear a slight click in the distance, the sound of the door's latch shutting. You are no longer alone in the stock room. Standing before you is a man clad in heavy armor and bearing a katana on his hip. His skin is an ashen gray, his eyes dead white, his lips are jagged and appear quite sharp. This is no man, this is a ghoul. The ghoul's blind eyes search back and forth as it regards you. It cannot see you, but you have a sense that it knows exactly where you are at all times. Ah, hired gun, no doubt brought to bear against me by the Wampoan elders, a means by which they can lift the curse plaguing them. I salute your tenacity, but I wonder, will you hear me out before raising your weapon to kill me? You don't seem interested in eating me at the moment. Eating me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am not only talking, I am reasoning as well. Since you have not attempted to kill me, your own higher faculties are engaged. I am a curiosity to you. The ghoul bares his teeth, breath rasping over them as he inhales. You wish to know not only what I am, but what I have done. As for who I am, you may call me Gaichu. You're the one killing the Wampoan elders. You are correct. I have killed all the Wampoan elders to date. Though only Elder Magpie was according to my initial plan, I regret the deaths of the other elders, but it was necessary. Explain yourself. The story began simply enough. As you may surmise, I am not someone who can be seen in public without great risk. Wampoa Garden is an excellent place to hide, no police or triad presence, and minimal interest in things that lurk in the shadows. Unfortunately for me, Elder Unga discovered me through communion with her spirits. Rather than kill or chase me away, she came to me with a proposition. Unga and the other elders were having problems with one of their number. An elder named Magpie had been holding many of their plants hostage and would not budge. They could not remove Magpie, however, because her services were too useful to the Wampoans at large. Unga offered me payment to dispose of Magpie, and I accepted. The key. I've heard of Magpie. The elders didn't like me asking for the key. Naturally, they would keep her servers under lock and key to avoid any awkward questions about her whereabouts. I was thorough in disposing of her as our contract stipulated. She was to simply disappear without a trace, a task that was easy enough to accomplish. I disposed of Magpie's body by emptying the blood in her bathroom. Then I cut her up into more portable pieces. These were placed in plastic tarp. I don't need it. Okay, alright, dude. Which I took to the storm drains and hid. Gaichu nonchalantly waves a hand, his tone flat and unconcerned. It's unfortunate, but my survival depends upon consumption of raw metahuman flesh. Letting such nourishment go to waste would be a foolish error. Then, why kill the other elders then? I contacted the elders, not in person, of course, and they arranged to exchange payment. I assumed that since the job was done, Ung would be a woman of her word. Baring his teeth, Gaichu hissed his next words across clenched teeth. I was mistaken. I arrived at the nearby parking garage the elders had told me about. They'd cleared out the other Wampones under some pretense, though I'm not sure what else they used. The elders never showed up. Instead, several members of the Hong Kong police force arrived. They were more heavily armed than usual, so I suspect they knew something of my nature. Killed them with a sword. Scarring up. Little sword. In my hands, yes. My blindness precludes the use of ranged weapons. Unfortunate, since I was an excellent shot before I became infected, but my skills in grappling and kenjutsu have only increased. The Battle of Swords is a clash of souls. Mine was stronger than theirs, and they perished. Oh, the samurai! Oh, alright. A betrayal that sword cannot stand. Not only was I not paid for my time and effort, the Wampone elders treated me like a common animal, and I am so much more than that. Reputation is everything, and I had none. I had hoped to build a network of contacts so that I could be able to continue finding work. But with that treachery, my hopes were dashed. I decided to become the monster that they feared. Alright. One by one, I've eliminated them. They know how to contact me. Could have ended their nightmare at any time by making amends. I would have asked for more money, but I would have ceased my hunt, yet they did not. Said they contacted you, no doubt asking you to eliminate me where the police had failed. So I ask you, what now? What will you do? Will you attempt to finish what the Wampone started, or will you treat me with the same humanity I've shown you? Let me ask you some questions. Very well, then what would you like to know? This is from your armor. I think it's pretty obvious that he ate the elders. It's from your armor. Yes, I felt a ragged edge on one shoulder plate. I assumed it was removed when one of the police officers shot me with his rifle. My habits of war include unkempt attire. Unfortunately, you eat the elders. Some of them, not all. My condition requires that I consume raw metahuman flesh. I do not require a great deal to survive. Perhaps 3 to 4 pounds per week. Consequently, there is vastly more supply than demand. Why would the elders have killed instead of paying you? Any number of reasons. They are notorious cheapskates and will always try to save money when dealing with outsiders. It could be their natural inclination toward profit. They may regard me as subhuman and therefore unworthy of respect. It could be that they felt I was too dangerous to allow to live. It could be even that they simply did not like me. That result is the same. However, they reneged on a deal we brokered and attempted to have me killed. A message must be sent, blood must be paid. As they have hired you to kill me, they have obviously not learned their lessons. Once you live, what will you do? Kill the rest of the elders and anyone else they send to exterminate me. It's a matter of survival. I should never have the opportunity to work freelance again. Should I? Potential employees need to understand the price of betrayal. These murders are my curriculum vitae in revenge. I made my decision. Could be. Oh, what then will you do? How will this story end? Come and work with me, and I can be your face. A curious offer. And what of the elders? Will you allow me the satisfaction of killing them? All right. I want to see what they have to say first. I would counsel you not believe their words, but you have the sound of one who is wary as a matter of course. Very well. Let's wait until a bit later in the night. Most pedestrians will be off the street, and it will be easier for us to approach the Wampo without being noticed. Sounds like a good plan. All right. As you approach, Elder Ng's eyes widen, her mouth falls open, the veins on her neck bulge. What are you doing? You've brought this thing into our home. Quick, kill it before it kills us. Porter hefts his pistol warily, but does not aim at anyone. Yeah, I have to say, this isn't a good idea. Why the hell is a ghoul in here? And why is it wearing armor? Calm yourselves, I am not an it, and your elders know this intimately. Gaiju bares his teeth in a rictus grin as he turns to face Ng. Good evening, Elder Ng. I can smell your fear, and I am glad of this. It means you are learning the price of betrayal. Whoa, what the hell's going on here? Can someone explain to me why the ghoul is talking? They betrayed him. Poems. You got a contract, and they betrayed him. You dare to accuse us of conspiring with a monster and covering it up? You're insane. The very idea is preposterous. Porter nods at the elders, looking back to you with a wary expression. I'm interested to hear what kind of evidence you have to support this theory, Schick. As far as I can tell, this monster killed Tong and the others. That makes him a threat that should be eliminated. It looked like she disappeared. You kill Elder Magpie. She disappeared. You believe this vermin, this creature that feasts on metahuman flesh, that kills and dismembers our tribesmen? You are a naive and foolish woman if that's the case. Ng spits on the ground in front of Gaiju. What proof do you have that Magpie is dead? Please. In matters where an elder is accused of breaking our law, the other elders generally judge them. In matters where all of them have been accused, I am authorized to act as a judge. Make your case, Shadowrun. Found Magpie's necklace in the storm drains. Porter takes a moment to examine the necklace. He nods at you. This is definitely Elder Magpie's. If you found it in the storm drain, that's suspicious, but hardly proof on its own. Of course it's not proof. The number of things lost down storm drains in Hong Kong must number in the tens of thousands per year. While unusual, it's hardly evidence of foul play. That may be unlikely, but it's hardly impossible. You haven't established that the elders were involved. All you've done is make suppositions about it. What proof do you have that we hired and betrayed this creature? I won't sit by and listen to idle accusations without any kind of concrete evidence to back it up. We'll have to fight with the Hong Kong police force. How do you mean? What does that have to do with the elders and the ghoul? To fight with someone using a sword. Garage, the markings on it prove it. You point out the armor's markings to Porter, and he nods with some satisfaction. This is from his armor, definitely, but how does it prove that the elders know of the ghoul's existence? Police officers were abnormally armored with much heavier gear than a normal patrol. They were armed with armor-piercing, discarding sabot rounds. That's hardly standard issue. Lesser weapons wouldn't have broken that armor plating. If all they were looking for was a common fugitive, why would they persevere for a fight of that magnitude? Obviously, they knew that they were searching for it. That doesn't mean we did. Exception this time. The police were polite and asked for permission to enter. They were hunting a non-Wampoan. That was reason to allow them in. Porter considers this for a moment, then shakes his head. That doesn't add up, Ng. Why would the police ask us for entry now? They've never been polite before, and they've always tried to force their way in here. It doesn't just ring true to me. Did you ask them to come in order to hunt down this ghoul? Preposterous, Porter. You know what our community is like. Why we wouldn't lie over something like this. This ghoul has been lying the entire time, trying to cover his tracks. He still brutally murdered 7 elders. That's true. These Moors were vicious and cruel. Porter fixes you with a hard stare. I don't see any way to explain that away. This ghoul is a monster for how he killed Tong and the others. from a sword blow to the neck. No. Feel the blow. I struck Tong down from a single blow from my sword. The mess made by the body was to send the elders a message, but I had no desire to make Tong suffer. At any time, Ng and the other elders could have made amends, and the killings would have ended. Instead, they hired a Shadowrun to kill me. It's not about cruelty, it's about sending a message. That's not what I would have expected looking at the body. You killed him before you dismembered him? That's right, and I killed the other elders in a similar fashion. There was no cause to prolong their suffering. The message was for the living elders, not the dead. If the elders wished to treat me like a monster, I would terrorize them like one until they paid reparations for their mistake. Come on, you can't possibly believe this crazy story. It's absolutely insane. Tong wasn't tortured. There was no actual residue of pain or fear. He didn't even feel the blow. That's correct. I struck a single blow while his back was to me. His death was instant, regrettable that he had to die for your falling, but necessary to protect my reputation. I'm glad to guide you into Steinstein's before addressing Porter. You cannot believe what these people say. They are not to be trusted. Even if this is true, he still killed Tong. Porter looks back at his expression flat without motion. Maybe so, but a monster would not take Tong's suffering into account. He may be a killer, but he's not heartless. The other was a deliberate sham. It was made to look more horrific than it was. I believe you. The blood smeared on the walls, the removal of the skin. There's a scene designed to evoke horror, not the scene of an actual fight. Elders, what do you have to say in response? This is a farce. We have dedicated ourselves to protecting the Wampoan tribe and everyone who lives in Wampoa Garden. Do you really believe outsiders and monsters over our word? We who have only tried to end the killings, you've been duped, Porter, you and this Shadowrunner. I concur. Porter, you know me. You know the kind of person I am. I wouldn't be party to the killing of another elder. I can't believe we're even entertaining the notion that we have to defend ourselves. We should be disposing of the school instead. Tang narrows his eyes at you, hissing. If you think I'll forget this is totally mistaken. I will not tolerate this kind of insult. Move to the garage. I'll fight away. That's right, Ip. You even told me to go find out what happened with the fight. You said the Red Spear gangs were moving in and to leave them alone. Why would you tell me not to look into it? I was only trying to protect you from the Red Spears. They're dangerous, which is why I wanted to deal with them quickly. That's all I've got. Shit. Alright, I think I have some idea of what's going on here. And what do you believe the real story is? The waters are muddy on this matter. The Ghoul seems to be telling some of the truth, and I respect that, but the fact remains he's a dangerous creature who killed many of our number. Our law is clear on this. He must die. You seem to be blameless in this ship. What do you say to this decision? You killed Gaichu. You killed Gaichu. Then you must die, Ip. Wampoans raid their weapons. I could have gone into the fucking, try. Alright, because I'm a greedy save-scumming bastard. Figure out where I am, and I'll try going to the jack point first next time. So hopefully it's not going to be as messy. Ooh, even Gobbet's back. Maybe I can resolve this better.